We are back with Ask the Attorney. I'm Amy Rao-Mohan here with Kevin Kennedy. We got some people who've been waiting patiently through the break, so we're going to take their calls.
Alrighty.
Got Mike here. Hi, Mike.
Hey, I've got a few questions to ask, if you don't mind me. I'd like to ask the lawyer there you have with you. My first question is, at a company I worked at a couple of years ago, they took it on their own. They rip up my doctor's note and throw it in the trash and said, well, that's what the doctor said, and then they turned around and the owner cussed me out, and I called my doctor and he said they did not tell him to do that. And my other question is, since they have legalized marijuana, do you think there would be a penalty or somehow if someone happened to be higher than a kite and they ran into somebody else's car and they killed them? Can they charge them with something like that, driving like under the influence of alcohol?
All right, here we go. Absolutely and unequivocally, they can charge you. They will charge you. They'll charge you with everything but electricity. If someone's killed in a car wreck, you can just about count on it. Someone's going to get indicted for a vehicular homicide. So again, I've said that marijuana law is riddled with problems. So number two, you went back. Did that employer have the right to rip up your doctor's note? No. That's records kept in business records, and there's a problem with that. And it's also a problem when an employer cusses out an employee because they don't really have the right to do that. And so there's laws that protect you. That's why we have the EEOC that would file complaints. And he could have easily created a hostile work environment for you and caused a lawsuit litigation for you to bring. And you know, all the companies I'm aware of, human resources, if they've got that behavior, they're going to let that employee go.
Yeah, not worth the liability.
They're not going to take the liability.
All right, we've got Debra here. Hi, Debra.
Hi.
How can we help you tonight?
I have a question. I have a disabled child, and I don't want to say the county, but he was abused by two different aides in his special ed classroom. I took video, I called the police, they interviewed my child, went down to the police station, took pictures, made statements, everything. And then when I hired an attorney, I didn't hire an attorney, I went to talk to an attorney in Nashville. He contacted that county's police department, and they told him they destroyed all of the evidence.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's a crime to destroy evidence in an ongoing investigation. There is a problem. You know, we have a law. If you know of a child that is being abused or has been, you're under an obligation to report it. And so that has lots of problems. I don't know why any government agent would have destroyed evidence, because that's just bizarre and unbelievable. But I'm sure that it happens, and that's why we have courts, and that's why you have lawyers, and you sue the state. And that, to me, would show that is there a sign of cover-up, whatever. But, you know, all the bells and whistles went off with your story, ma'am. And so I'd just say pursue it, protect your children, always. And, you know, when she says this happens, we have to gather the evidence and know what the statements were and if there were photographs or audios. She did the right thing by gathering it. Yes.
All right, Marilyn's here with us this evening. Hi, Marilyn.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I have a situation of a friend of mine, and I was trying to help him.
Okay.
He was divorced, and his wife stayed in the house. He didn't. And the court ordered her to sell the house. It gave her about 3 years to get financing to redo the house to get him off the loan.
Yes.
Well, her attorneys have come up and said that he needs to sign, like the quitclaim deed, a sign off the house in order for her to get refinanced. And I don't think that's true. Because once he signs off, that means he loses all rights to any kind. She can turn around and sell the house, whatever, and he has nothing that he can, you know, get from the house. Could you speak on that for me,
I will. Normally in a divorce situation, the final decree of divorce is going to dictate the terms. It'll say that she's got 90 days to refinance or 120 days. And if she didn't, then many times the lawyers will say, well, then she would forfeit her right, and the house would go to him to try to protect his credit. Or he may be given a first option to purchase that home back because it's very valuable. You know, we have it all the time. Okay, she's got the home, she's supposed to refinance, she doesn't make the payments, the home goes in foreclosure. Well, guess what? When you sign the quitclaim deed, you're off the house, but you're still on the loan until you get a release from the mortgage company. So you have to learn more and more about it. And so what I'd always like to do is go to the mortgage company and say, if I give her this, will y'all give me a release off this loan? Sometimes they do, most of the times they don't. And if I knew that my former spouse was not credit worthy, I would not take that plan, because we know it's just a matter of time till it's going to blow up.
Yep. All right, we've got Gerhardt here. Good evening, Gerhardt.
I have a question.
All right.
He was in the military, and I went to the Social Security office to see about getting some help. And how they said was it was X968. That was the number they gave me. And the lady behind me, they were talking to her, and they said that her husband died, and she gets some money, and she was a different race. Would that be different from me? Because he said they only wanted to give me $44, and my dad served our country, and they refused giving him SSI or his VA benefits. How would that work where I could get something better?
Okay, first off, the Social Security Administration and the Veterans Administration all have certain rules, policies, and practices that you'd have to file your application and then try to understand. And I always encourage people, they go in and they ask a question, how much can I qualify? Well, that individual is probably knows what they're talking, but not guaranteed. They may say, well, you're going to get $291. You know what I like to do sometimes? I like to get away, because if it didn't sound right, I would come back another day and speak to another representative. And then you can always request, would you provide me a copy of the regulation that I apply in this? So when they hand it to you and they say, well, yes, here it is on page 49, this is the section A, B, and C, then you can read it or have a friend read it. And you can understand pretty much whether you're being ripped off or you're not. And I always try to get a lawyer to help you with that. Lots of lawyers take Social Security cases. Lots of lawyers, even representing them, the government turns you down the first time, and they may turn you down the second. But again, it's the same thing. You must advance your own cause.
Right. We've got Shavonda. We've got just a few seconds here. Shavonda, do you have a question for us?
Hi, good afternoon. I do. We had purchased a car from a car lot. We had had the vehicle less than 30 days, and during the 30-day process, the vehicle had a bad transmission, and it fell under a recall part, and they sort of, we felt like, you know, just put a Band-Aid on the repair and gave us back the car.
Yes, hello, come in. We know, we hear that there's not a week goes by we don't hear this same story. And people in the used car business are trying to make a living, and they say, okay, I'm going to sell this to you. And remember, on the first papers, as is, no warranty. So that is really powerful when you're buying a used car.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll come back right after this.
Hit it.